Hey there, everybody. I'm Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, and we are continuing this amazing series that we have with our pals at Nusenda Credit Union, which provides you with helpful financial tips on a number of topics, from budgeting to money management, boosting your credit score, what to do with your taxes, and so much more. And today we're talking about something that's super, super important that I certainly admit that I don't have because I grew up with a single parent who borrowed from Peter to pay Paul, but we're talking about financial literacy. And we have Amanda Reyes, who is the Director of Financial Capability, and Ann Chavez, who is the FinCap Curriculum and Engagement Specialist for Nusenda Credit Union. It is so lovely to see your faces, ladies.
Thanks for having us back again.
Oh, we've got some business to talk about because, even before we start recording, we're starting to talk about all these different partnerships, and I love that that's part of the value of Nusenda is it's all about collaborations because we know that we can create more impact when we work together than when we work in silos. And you all are doing such a great job of that. And we're talking about financial literacy and or capability. And so, some of that is still kind of a new term for people. Typically it's just I just suck at money. And but really what we're talking about is understanding budgeting and how we can budget our checks from month to month. And so, can either one of you talk about financial capability or financial literacy?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start with this question. So, when we think about financial literacy, we're really thinking about information. We might also be thinking about awareness. We really focus on financial capability. Financial capability takes it just a little bit further. It really gives us the opportunity to make decisions. So, we have this definition that we use from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It just tells us that financial capability is the capacity based on knowledge, skills, and access to manage your resources wisely. So you need information, you need motivation to make those decisions, but you also need opportunity. So when you have all three components, then you can act. And also, you can act and understand the possible consequences, be them positive or not so positive. And that's why we really focus on financial capability. Do you have the information? Do you have the practice? Do you have the skills in order to make those decisions? And do you have partners? Do you have those trusted advisors who you can go to help you make those decisions?
Well, and often, and maybe I'm just projecting my own personal insecurities about it, but sometimes it's not a comfortable thing for people to disclose that they just don't know how to work with money. And it's because of habits that maybe we learned when we were kids or just because of circumstances of living paycheck to paycheck. And it's I don't have the time to plan a budget. I've just got to pay my bills. And so how is it that you can help people get over that hump of just of embarrassment really and come in and have those conversations?
I think one of the most important things to start with is understanding that as a society, we don't really talk about money. It really is a taboo subject. So when we are working with schools or organizations or individuals, we are really starting by saying, we don't have all the information, but we're here to help you find the right information to help make those decisions that are right for you. I oftentimes share some of those poor decisions that I've made because that can kind of help address that barrier. Another thing that's really important is providing the right information, the right resource at the right time. If we're talking to an individual who is struggling to pay their bills or get groceries for that day, it's not very appropriate to necessarily talk about investment at that time. So the right information at the right time for that individual or that organization is key. And is there anything else you think you'd like to add to that?
I think it's important just to underscore that we have all been there and it is okay. If you're struggling with finances, it's okay to talk about that. And it's that first step to getting the help that you need. And there are people who understand and are ready to help. So I think it's really important to reach out when you're in need and know that there is support there. We have all been there And it also doesn't mean that we're going to be there for the rest of our lives. You know, I used to believe I'm just not good with credit. I'm just one of those people who messes it up, but things can change little by little with those, you know, the next right steps. So it's okay to bring it up.
Well, and thank you, because it is, and it's just this constant conversation of letting people know that it's not something to be ashamed of. It's a skill that we learn. And then some people get the chance to learn it and other people don't. And it's just what it is. So let's meet where we can and get there, because we certainly want to help people get out of, especially out of a cycle of poverty. And, you know, financial capabilities is really one of those things, but we can look at also employment and all sorts of stuff. I mean, we could go on and on that one. But and so you do a lot of partnerships, though, when we talked about the collaborations. And so some of those are like through Doña Ana Community College and the Las Cruces Public Schools and reality fairs. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start on that one as well. I think one of our most exciting partnerships is this dual credit partnership that is with Doña Ana Community College, an offset of NMSU, and Las Cruces Public Schools. Now, for those who aren't aware of dual credit, it is merely a class that students can take that is offered through the college. So you earn college credits and you earn high school credits that can support your high school graduation at the same time. So this class that we offer is a dual credit class. It is called Banks and Your Money. We will be starting it next week. It will actually be year 2 of this exciting course. So this will be our 3rd semester in this collaboration. And what we have is we have a class where students are learning about the banking system. What are those structures? What information do they need to know or need to know where to find in order to understand things about credit, things about checking accounts? And then we also discuss careers in the financial institution industry. What's really cool about this course is it is also a prerequisite for an internship through Nusenda Credit Union. That's also another college class that students can take. So they are learning about the financial institution careers. They may potentially work as an intern. They are hired as an employee, and they learn through experience. Now, Las Cruces Public Schools has been fantastic because they actually have an individual who helps organize the students to be registered. So we actually had to open up more spots this fall because our class was full. It's exciting that students are interested in learning about money, learning about the banking system, because you're right, sometimes we just don't offer this enough in the schools. This is one way that we can support students, so potentially they will make better choices than some of the other adults in their lives. Another cool collaboration that we have with Doña Ana Community College and NMSU is actually, we've done these reality fairs with them where students came into the DACC system or the NMSU Center for Financial Capability Financial Wellness system, and it's a simulation. We are helping students to understand what it's like to make real world decisions. We actually, this last spring, we had students from Arrowhead Park Early College Academy who came to DACC to engage in this experience with us at the Financial Wellness Fair. Another thing, we actually have a Financial Wellness Fair with NMSU and the Center for Financial Capability, which supports students and staff in making good decisions, accessing resources. We have that event next Wednesday. It's October 11th from 11 to 2. So come find out some more information, access resources. There's information about careers as well. We're really excited to be a part of that.
So when this drops, it will be actually this Wednesday, because we're pre-recording this just to let you know if you couldn't tell. And so this will drop on Monday. And so we're talking about 2 days from now when people will see this. So that's fantastic. So they can still register though, even though we've got like 2 days from when people will see this.
Yes, yes. So they can actually just show up. It's at Corbett Center, and we'll have lots of information available for those participants. As far as reality fairs, Ann, do you want to add a little bit more about reality fairs as well?
Sure. So our reality fairs, it's so much fun. Let me just say, this is where we make learning fun because it's almost like a game of life. that's going on in a large ballroom. So we have students practice those financial skills. They don't just listen to a teacher tell them what's right and what's wrong. They're given a participant profile with annual gross income, student debt, credit card debt, and then they go through different booths where they have to find housing, they have to address that credit card debt, they select transportation, and they essentially have to manage their budget within a month. They also find out if they're having kids or not and how expensive that can be. Yeah, that's a hilarious one to work at. It's great. So we have volunteers from Nusenda, but also from the community, and we'll collaborate with other financial institutions. So students get to practice having lending conversations with real financial service professionals. It is so important to get that practice also with fake money, which makes it a little easier to manage. It's a little depersonalized that way. And it's such a benefit for our students and for our volunteers. We do post-event surveys, and students reported a huge increase in their confidence in making financial decisions and their confidence in knowing where to go to find answers. So, and coming from high schoolers, I feel like that's high praise. They can be a tough crowd, but they come out really feeling confident.
That's awesome. I don't know
what's really
how.
Amazing about that. I was just going to say, what's really amazing about that is being able to coordinate with these other partners as well. So we've had students help run booths. We've had our partners at the Office of African American Affairs and First Financial Credit Union. We've collaborated on several of these reality fairs in the Las Cruces area in order to really support our students, whether they were high school students or college age students.
Well, and I'm thinking about this because I don't know if I'm dating myself here, but I'm still meeting young people who don't know how to fill out a check. And I'm kind of wondering, is that because they're not necessarily needed anymore? Or can you help me with that? Because I'm trying not to be like a crabby old lady and go, you don't know how to fill out a check? That's really important. I still have to write a check for my building rent. And so I'm kind of wondering like that. So I'm grateful, I guess, is my point, is that like those things are taught. But I know that we're doing more electronically now, and especially young people are used to, hey, you can just Venmo me. You don't have to write me a check or whatever. But is that still something that's important?
I think absolutely. I think the breadth of knowledge that students need to have, or young people need to have in this day and age, they need to learn check writing, and they need to learn how to make electronic payments online and stay safe and make sure their account is safe. So I think because we're banking in different ways and our world is evolving with the introduction of technology, it just increases how much we need to teach them. So I'm actually going to teach a check writing lesson next week. So yes.
so that and how to drive a stick shift is what young folks don't know how to do right now. Oh my goodness. Well, as we finish up, you've got, in addition to these programs, and I love the idea of the reality fair. That's kind of like back in the day of when you had to carry around a bag of flour to make sure, or an egg, to make sure that you could take care of it, and it was kind of like a life lesson to teach you. I think this is really a little bit more engaging way of teaching people, especially young folks, lessons, and it's lovely to hear that there are those that are really excited about it. And so as we finish up, you've got those programs, but then you've got your collaboration with the Center of Innovation, New Day, and CYFD. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. New Day reached out and wanted some financial literacy programming for young people across New Mexico. So this is our third semester of offering an online financial literacy series of webinars. And so we use the Annie E. Casey Foundation's curriculum, the 8 Keys to Your Financial Future. It's fabulous. So this curriculum is designed to teach young people, particularly youth in transition out of foster care, financial knowledge and skills that they need to be independent and financially capable young adults. So they are 1.5-hour sessions once a month. It's open to any young people in the state, and we've had a great turnout. We have young people who are in group homes and all log on. They put the Zoom on the TV screen and they're able to log on. And we have students who are logging in from their dorm rooms in different colleges and from their homes. So it's been a really positive collaboration, and we have really great conversations in that space.
That's wonderful, because those, we know that there are more people than ever in New Mexico that are considered living in poverty. And so every opportunity we have to be able to help people get out of poverty or prevent themselves from going in when they're really just teetering on the edge, we want to make sure that that doesn't happen, because we know how difficult it is to get out of poverty with all the different systemic stuff. So kudos to you. Thank you. I bet that's super fun, especially working with young folks. What are some of the questions that they ask? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, I will tell you something about this generation. I think it's really special. They have so many questions about taxes. They want to know, yes,
Nice.
they want to know how taxes work, where the money goes, how agencies spend those taxes and allocate them. And so I'm blown away by the maturity of Gen Z and their interest, in topics like this.
I always say they're going to save the world because we've done a bad job at it. And I'm, but then there are other things that we know that we're like, okay, I didn't need algebra in high school, but boy, I certainly needed to know how to write a check and how to drive a stick shift. And those are the things that were important in our day. And so I'm really grateful for hearing that, because it gives a lot of us hope. When we think of, we can go off. I'm going off on a nice little rant, but I love that they're so focused on taxes, because at 16 and 17, I didn't know my head from my rear when it came down to taxes. And I think that's amazing that they're learning that.
Yes, and I think they really want to participate. I think it's they're wanting to take responsibility, and they want to participate, in what's going on with our state, with our country, and really have a voice.
Well, I'm so excited about what you're doing, and it seems like once a month isn't enough for us to be able to talk about all the programs that Nusenda is doing and reaching out in the community. But I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak with you, Amanda Reyes, who is the Director of Financial Capability, and Ann Chavez, who is the FinCap Curriculum and Engagement Specialist for Nusenda Credit Union. I love having conversations with you. I mean, we only set aside a certain amount of time, and we went way beyond that to talk about financial literacy and the programs that you do in New Mexico. So it's lovely seeing you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And so if you, our series for Nusenda, the Financial Wellbeing Tips, drops every second Monday of the month. And if you'd like more information on the services provided by Nusenda, you can go to nusenda.org, or you can call our local branch here at 575-523-7750, or go by their office at 1715 East University Avenue. And you can also find all of our financial well-being tips at locallascruces.com/Nusenda. Thank you, ladies, again, and we will see you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you.